Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Wicked Bitter channel. I'm Travis. Thank you for checking out this video. If you are somebody who is new to this channel, you would love it here because we talk about WWE every single week. Raw, Smackdown, PLEs. We do prediction videos. We do review videos, email videos where you send your emails in and I read them here on video, and then we talk about them afterwards. So if you love WWE, you love wrestling, stay a while. Hang out with us. All right, my friends, let's get into what happened on SmackDown. Obviously, I'm not going to cover everything because I don't think we really need to. There's a lot of things I felt like were a little bit of like a filler, little things that weren't that important to go over, in my opinion. If you would like to talk about it, please, by all means, leave it in the comments. We'll talk about it. But I'm just going to cover the things that I think are noteworthy and things that I think I would like to talk about more than the other stuff. Also, I'm feeling a lot better. So thank you to everybody who reached out. We will be back to our regular scheduled programming here on this Wicked Bitter channel. I will be live streaming this upcoming Monday Night Raw on Twitch again, so if you can make it, I would love to see you there. I'll have the chat up. We can talk there. Wicked Bitter on Twitch. If you just go to Twitch TV, whatever the app is, we're there. Let's get into some SmackDown stuff here. Before we do that, I want to talk about, I guess, late last night, they released, well, it was at least, what's the word? I guess it was made public that they released a few superstars from the roster, which I thought was kind of surprising. A couple of them were. AOP, I guess, is no longer with WWE. I don't know what it is with AOP. It just never worked out with them. It's like the second time now they've released these guys. I like them. When they were in NXT, they were great. And then when they got called up, I had high hopes because of how good they were in NXT. It's just nothing ever fizzled. It just kind of just fizzled out. Like it just never worked. And then they put them with Karrion Kross, which I thought was a good pairing. But that's no longer happening now. So Karrion Kross, I guess, is just by himself with Scarlett. Maybe they have a different plan now for Karrion Kross now that they see that they can maybe do something with him because he's shown to be a pretty good character on TV. So we'll see what happens there. The Final Testament, I'm guessing, is no longer now that the AOP is gone. AOP is gone. Cedric Alexander, who's been muddling around in NXT for a little bit. Another one that's kind of a little bit of a letdown. I really liked Cedric. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but he's from Charlotte, North Carolina. I actually met him a couple of times before he even became famous. It was pretty wild. Like his wife was his girlfriend at the time. This is a weird story. Like his wife was his girl at this point in time where I've seen them. They were his wife, Big Swole. If you know who Big Swole is, she's a professional wrestler. She wrestled at AEW. She worked, like legitimately had a job at a GameStop very close to where I lived. I was in that GameStop all the time. Like I was buying games from her. She knew I was a wrestling fan. So me and my brother, we'd go in there. We'd talk to her all the time, about wrestling, all that kind of stuff. She was legitimately, I think it was before she was, I think she was an indie wrestler, but not like well known. So she was kind of just like taking days and stuff like that. But she was there working. And I remember doing a couple of, me and my brother, we went to like a midnight release of, one of the WWE games. I can't remember, but it was like midnight. Me and my brother were there in line, and freaking Cedric comes walking around the corner because he was trying to say hi to his girl. I guess she was working, and maybe he was bringing her like food or something. I can't remember, but it was a weird story. But yeah, she's cool, and I met Cedric a couple of times through that way. But that was before they both like blew up and stuff. So I don't know, weird, crazy, odd story I just have. The other two superstars, Blair Davenport, I'm a little upset about. I liked Blair Davenport. I think she had a pretty good future. I thought she had a lot of potential, really. But I think the way I look at it is WWE has a stacked women's roster on NXT and on the main roster. And now that Alexa Bliss is back, you're going to have people getting called up like Roxanne Perez. I'm sure Lola Vice and Jada Parka eventually. I'm sure they'll get called up. So yeah, maybe it's kind of one of those like getting pushed out the door kind of thing just because there's no space and there's other things coming in. So there's that. And then the final one, which I don't know if they've officially released her or if I read somewhere that they're just going to let her contract expire and not re-sign her, is Sonya Deville. That one's a little surprising to me because of the PFC stuff that she's been doing with the Baszler and Stark. Maybe it's just going to be Stark and Baszler now. I don't know. Maybe they just dissolve the whole thing. Don't know. A little shocked about that one. I like Sonya. She's cool. Individually, like by herself, I like Sonya. In that group, I don't like PFC. So, I don't know. Weird. Strange, but they released some people, and I spent way more on that topic than I would have liked to. All right, I got some notes because a lot of these had SmackDown had some promos here that I wanted to write some stuff down on. But Jey Uso starts Friday Night SmackDown. He gets in the ring. He talks about how he gave some time to spend time with Gunther to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. He wants to do the same thing for Cody with the WWE Championship. So he calls out Cody Rhodes, and of course Cody comes down. Now these two are cool. They're not going to be trading jabs and stuff like that. But Jey mentions that he has two choices he can go with here. He can go with Gunther, who he has that background with, that personal like vendetta, like he knows he can beat Gunther, but he hasn't been able to. And then he's got Cody, like his boy. He would just the fact alone that he can say that he main evented WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. I think that's gonna weigh on him too. And honestly, I didn't feed too much into this because in my heart, I know that he's going to go for Gunther. And, if he was smart, if he actually wanted to be the main event of WrestleMania, the actual last match of WrestleMania, he'd pick Cody because that match is going on last. But because if he picks Gunther, I can see Gunther versus Jey Uso opening either night 1 or night 2. It's not going to be the last match. It'll probably be the first match of one of those 2 nights. So if he wants to be truly the main event, go for Cody. But if not, I think in my heart, I just know the story against Gunther is the one to go for. I mean, you have everything stacked up against it. All these, he can't beat Gunther. He's never beaten Gunther or whatever it is. You got it. You got it right there. Well, Cody proceeds to say that he's proud of Jey Uso. He says that, in order for him to solidify his title reign that he won at last year's WrestleMania, he needs to go to WrestleMania this year as WWE champion. He needs to be in the main event, and he needs to win the main event. So Cody's got equally as much drive going into WrestleMania 41. So, if he says you pick me, you could pick me, but just know I got something I'm working for too here. It's not just a match for me. I need to beat you to solidify my title reign. And that's when Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu come out. They get in the ring. They cut a little bit of a promo here. Fatu says that, if there was ever somebody who can, that title was taken from his family last year. And now his family, it's time for them to take it back. And he said that if there was ever anybody to take that title and bring it back to the family, it sure as hell is not Jey Uso. And Jey Uso ends up super kicking Tama Tonga. The 4 men get into a brawl. And then Cody and Jey fight off Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, stand tall in the ring at the end. And guess what? It turns into a main event tag team match, of course. When in doubt, put the Bloodline in a tag team in the main event of SmackDown. So we're going to skip ahead here. We're going to go to that triple threat match between Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Jimmy Uso. Drew McIntyre starts it off, cuts a promo, says that he's officially on SmackDown, which we called this here back on a few weeks ago on Wicked Bitter. We said that SmackDown needs more stars. They need top stars after the move to Netflix for Raw and SmackDown going to 3 hours. They need bigger and better superstars. They've added Damian Priest, a big name, and now they added Drew McIntyre. So this is big. I like this for them, but we saw this coming. At least if you've been here on this channel, we talked about it. So Drew says he's officially on SmackDown, and he said he's coming for Cody Rhodes. Shortly after that, Jimmy Uso comes out. It kind of interrupts him here. These two had a nice little back and forth. Jimmy says, "Hey, you're looking past this match. You got to get through this match tonight, and then you got to go to an Elimination Chamber. You got to win that, and then you can go for Cody. So don't look past all of this." Drew McIntyre then snaps back at Jimmy, saying, he's different now. He's done complaining and being upset all the time. He says he's cool now. He kind of questions. He's like, you and Jay have pretty much the same skill set here. You guys are basically just as good as one another. And he said maybe you'd be in Jey Uso's spot if you started saying yeet first, which I thought was a pretty cool thing. Maybe we're setting up a future rivalry here between Jimmy and Drew. But Drew kind of has a point. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. That happens. LA Knight ends up coming out. LA Knight cuts a promo about Drew McIntyre crying all the time, calls him Drew McIntyre. I thought that was pretty cool. And then he had a line at the end there, LA Knight did, before their match. He said, "Oh, wait, I forgot to get my stuff in." And then he said, with everybody saying LA Knight, yeah. And I feel like the crowd and some of the streamers that I ended up seeing today, like this morning, I feel like a lot of them didn't really catch on to that part. Like, have we not seen the reports and the rumors that Drew McIntyre was visibly like angrily upset at LA Knight for trying to get his stuff in at the Royal Rumble where it screwed up his elimination spot? I mean, I thought that would have gotten a bigger reaction from the crowd and a bigger reaction from some of the streamers I saw. I don't know if anybody just doesn't believe it or doesn't pay attention. Regardless, if you don't believe it, LA Knight still said something about it. He still referenced it. I thought that was a pretty solid line. I was like, damn, at home. I was like laughing at it. I was like, damn, okay, we're going there. Drew McIntyre ends up winning this triple threat match. LA Knight was going for the BFT on Jimmy Uso, and LA Knight ends up hitting the Claymore from behind on the back of LA Knight's head. At the same time, LA Knight went down with the BFT to Jimmy. So a very cool and unique way to end that match. But Drew McIntyre wins. He goes into the Elimination Chamber. Now you got Drew, you got Punk, and you got Cena. It's already turning into a fantastic Elimination Chamber. We got Kevin Owens in his car cutting a promo, and this is kind of like what we were all talking about. We had a feeling, we knew this is why he attacked Sami Zayn. He said that, Sami just stood by and watched. He didn't help. Kevin Owens, Sami was right there watching the match in person, and Sami did nothing to stop Cody Rhodes ever. Didn't even try to make him second guess it. Nothing. He did nothing to help Kevin Owens at all. And then Kevin Owens mentioned that he saw the Royal Rumble when Sami went to help Roman Reigns in the actual Royal Rumble when it's supposed to be every man for himself. But yet you can't help me not get my head crushed into a ladder by Cody Rhodes and almost end my career. So he says that Sami Zayn's going to pay, and that's the driving motivation for Kevin Owens. So, I mean, who honestly could really blame him? We got a Charlotte promo here. I ended up taking some notes for this Charlotte promo because she did say some stuff here. First of all, I wanted to say, I can't stand the way she cuts promos. I don't like her voice. I don't like it. It's always bothered me. You can take away all the 16, 17 championships she's won, whatever it is, and I still don't like it. She's always annoyed me. But she says she became the first ever two-time Women's Royal Rumble winner. Says she was in the Rumble with 29 other unserious women. So I thought that was a pretty cool line. She wants to be inspired, and that's when Tiffany Stratton comes out. Tiffany Stratton says that she didn't think the WWE would survive without Charlotte. Nobody did. But guess what happened? WWE's on fire, and it's as good as it's ever been right now. And she said, guess who's on top? It's me. So Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte get into it a little bit there. Charlotte says to get in line and only speak that when you're spoken to. So Charlotte kind of big sistering her right now, big brothering her, whatever phrase you want to use. Tiffany Stratton ends up saying that she's always been compared to Charlotte, and she's saying, no, I want you to please pick me at WrestleMania because I'm tired of being compared to Charlotte. I want to beat Charlotte at WrestleMania, and I don't want to become the next Charlotte Flair. I'm going to become the one and only Tiffany Stratton. So very solid there. I like that. And then, of course, we're going to get some other stuff interrupting here. Nia Jax comes out, who mentions that she's got a title match against Tiffany Stratton next week. And then Alexa Bliss comes out, and I thought the pop would have been huge. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just awkward placement of all of this, but Bliss is on the way down because she's getting ready for her match against Candice LeRae, who came out with Nia Jax to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. And the crowd, I don't know what it was. I don't know if they were just taken out by the promo between Tiffany and Charlotte and Nia. I don't know what it is, but they didn't really pop as much as I thought they would for Bliss. But during the match, there were moments where they did, so it's all good, I guess, from there. One quick thing I wanted to mention, Bliss does get the win here over Candice LeRae, so she qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. Happy to see that. Happy to see that Bliss is already doing stuff. I know some of you were worried that she was just going to disappear, get lost in the shuffle, but I was saying that maybe you don't have to attach her to the Wyatts every single week, although there was like a Wyatts graphic that kind of popped up a couple of times here in her match. And then after that, Uncle Howdy, I think, tweeted or something about her. So obviously they're going to put these two together, these two entities together. I just don't think it would be smart, and I don't think they are going to do this. I don't think it'd be smart to keep Bliss off of TV as much as they keep the Wyatts off TV. I think Bliss will be on TV more than the rest of them, and I don't know how they're going to work that in, but I think that's what we're going to do. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso get the win here in the main event of the tag team match versus Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Not much to really talk about there, although it was a really good match. I did see Tama Tonga getting the pin miles away, so taking the pin, I should say. So Jay and Cody win, but the big news, the big story out of all this comes at the very end after the match. A man in a hoodie shows up during Cody Rhodes' celebration, and he ends up Samoan spiking him in the throat, takes off the hoodie, and it's Solo Sikoa. So some people's tribal chief is back. Solo Sikoa is back on SmackDown attacking Cody Rhodes. My interest here is not so much Cody versus Solo Sikoa, because I don't think they should make this happen again, because Solo is not going to win. And I don't want to see Solo keep taking losses against Cody Rhodes. What I want to start seeing here is a little bit of disintegration between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Solo left them high and dry. Fatu ended up stepping up, taking the reins, and becoming the guy. I want to see Solo and Fatu butt heads, and maybe we can build that feud, them against each other for WrestleMania. I'd rather see that match. All right, my friends, I appreciate you checking out this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please like if you haven't yet. It does this channel a ton of favors. I appreciate you watching the video to begin with, but please go the extra step and hit like, because I want to get this video out there to other people who don't know about this channel. Yeah, I appreciate all of you. We'll be coming back out with some more videos. I actually have a couple of videos lined up that I would like to put out there coming out soon here. We're going to be talking about a couple of different things, John Cena, Jey Uso, and maybe I got a suggestion to make my own WrestleMania 41 card, not even by standards of what's going on in WWE right now, but like as like what I would like to see, just me without any storylines currently going on. So I'm interested in that. I might actually do that. So stick around for that. But all right, my friends, have a good rest of your weekend. Until we yeet again, as always, stay bitter.